Good morning, everyone. Tim from Timber Visions here. So today I'm going to take these quick hitch compatible hookups back off of this tiller and put on the stock ones. So I had made this quick hitch compatible last year, and because it's just easier to swap attachments that way, implements. And oh, I really tightened that thing down. Anyway, and I'm going to be getting rid of this tiller here soon. So I want to keep these bushings. I want them to stay with me. So I'm switching back to stock configuration. Now, why am I getting rid of my tiller? Well, there's a few reasons. So I've been last 2 years I've been doing some tilling for people, and I was hoping that it would be mostly local, but there's not a lot locally that require my services. The majority of the people who do require it are from out of town. They're in other towns or in the country. So I spent a lot of time traveling around, which I charge for that, but I don't recoup it in my time so much. And another reason is because this tiller is a 4-footer and only works on my subcompact tractor. And here pretty soon I'm gonna have an upgrade. I thought over this so much, done so much consideration about which way I wanted to go here. I really do like my subcompact tractor. I like a lot of things about it. And one of the main things I like about it is its small size and the tight spaces that I can get into. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, this past winter I did a video on the 8 things I hate about that tractor. And some of them are little piddly things, right? Just nitpicking. But one of the main things was lift capacity. And there's no getting around that. So here pretty soon I'm going to be upgrading equipment to use for all the things that I do. Unfortunately, tilling's not going to be something I'm going to be doing in the future. If I had a garden myself, had a lot of land to put a garden on, I'd probably still get a tiller, but I'm not going to be tilling anymore. I've made some pretty good money doing this. I'm not saying that you can't make a little extra money doing stuff like this. But what I'm saying is the amount of time that you put in, or I was putting in, traveling to the different locations to do this, I could have spent that time doing other things that would help my business out more. Like you know, cutting and splitting firewood. So like all spring, people want me to till. So, you know, I try to line them up so when I go to a certain area, I can get a bunch of them done. But trying to line up a bunch of people to do that, it's pretty tough. Plus the calls come in, and then you go out, you know, you schedule a day to do it, and then you go out and do it, and then 2 days later, somebody from the same area wants some tilling done. So, you know, it's tough. So you spend a lot of time driving to the place to till and driving back. And like I said, I charge mileage. The further I go, the more it costs them, right? Because basically covering gas costs. But my time is even more valuable than the gas, right? And I do enjoy tilling for people, but there are other things that I'd rather be doing. So I am going to keep the stump grinder. The stump grinder will work on the other piece of equipment I'm getting. So I have been to so many different dealerships, and I've looked at so many different types of pieces of equipment. And I've thought about keeping the subcompact and then just buying another piece of equipment to do some lifting, right? It's not real easy to to decide what you want to do. So the really tight spaces for tilling, the subcompact was really important to get in people's backyards and things like that. Stump grinding could come into play also, but if it's something I can't get to, I can't get to it. You know what I'm saying? And the stump grinder and tiller are both paid for themselves. I've made enough money with each of those, or saved enough with the stump grinder to basically offset the cost of them. So I'm going to be trading off the Kioti CS2520 and getting a different piece of equipment. And then this is going to be part of that trade because I don't need it anymore. And then of course the cab will be part of it, the grapple, third function, all of that. But I'm keeping a stump grinder, I'm keeping my pallet forks, and I'm keeping the ballast box that I have retrofitted with a hitch receiver on the back, ball 2-inch receiver on the back, so that I can still utilize this new piece of equipment. So that tells you that's another tractor, right? I did look at a skid loader. I almost pulled the trigger on the skid loader and was going to keep the subcompact, but it's a pretty big swing. Skid loaders are not cheap. You're paying for that piece of equipment. It's a small package and it has tremendous lift capacity. And I was pretty much ready to pull the trigger on it, but I considered where I drive the things that I want to lift. And skid loaders, well, they skid. Skid steers, they skid. That's how they steer. And I'm not on a rocky area. You know, this is Iowa, northwest Iowa. There's lots of dirt, and when it's wet, it's mud. And in the spring, it's mud. And if it rains hard, it's mud. And skid steers are heavy, really heavy, and they tear things up. You'll always know if a skid loader's been in an area because the ground is just shredded. And I can't be doing that. I can't be shredding my ground, and the cost of it's too high. But I've been to an LS dealer, I've been to a Kubota dealer, I've been to my Kioti dealer, and I've looked at a lot of different tractors. I've looked at open stations, I've looked at cabs, and there's a lot of good tractors out there, right? So, but I'm not going to tell you what I bought yet. I just kind of want to prelude this and kind of let you all know that the subcompact's going to be going by the wayside. I've really enjoyed using it. It's been a great tractor for learning the ins and outs of tractor ownership. But I need to be able to lift big logs up onto my mill. I can't just keep milling 6-7 footers. And I need to have something that if I want to go somewhere and pick up logs, I can pick up 12, 14, 16 footer and load it. I also want to be able to lift an IBC tote or a pallet full of firewood. This past winter, selling heating wood, I discovered that I'm really not about hand tossing firewood into the back of the dump truck when it's, you know, single digits, because that's when people want firewood, right? They don't want firewood when it's nice out. They want it when it's getting cold or has already gotten cold, and they're like, oh, I should probably get some firewood. And I'm thinking about going to a different system for my heating wood, where I can just use a tractor to load up probably firewood bags. That's what I'm thinking. There's a few different types out there. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go yet, but they're 1/3 of a cord bags big enough where you can loosely throw in 1/3 of a cord, and they're vented on the side so you get good airflow. But when I split, currently how I've been splitting is I stack it all, and that takes a lot of time too. Stacking wood takes time. If you've done it, you know that. And I still plan to stack my bundle wood. I like making bundles right off the stacks, so I got them all right there. I can see how the sizes and everything works really good for making bundles. But as I'm going through, I take the good stuff and bundle it, and then I throw the twisted stuff, the ugly stuff, off to the side. Then when I'm done, there's just a pile of, I call it heating wood, or my personal use wood here at the house, and that then I have to move that, you know, so if somebody buys some, we use some of that. But what I want to do here in the future is, as I'm splitting the bundle wood, I'll throw in the back of the pickup box trailer, and then the heating wood, the ugly stuff, I'll throw right into one of these firewood bags, and then I can set those out to dry, stack my bundle wood to dry. Then I can make bundles off of the stacks and have these firewood bags full of wood for either my use or selling for heating. And I'll be able to just, if I'm handling it from there on, it's with the tractor and forks. So that's the two big drivers: being able to pick up big logs and put on the mill. And I know I have the winch system and everything, but you have to move that log around. And yeah, I can use the subcompact and push it around. Well, as you're pushing it around, you're rubbing dirt into the bark and everything, and you know, that's not good for your blades. It'd be much better if I could just take the grapple, pick it up, carry it over, set it on the mill. Plus, then you can set it exactly where you want it. You don't like where it's at, you pick it back up and you reposition. And yeah, you can do all that by hand. But, you know, time is precious, right? You want to get some things done. Plus, I have these big stacks of wood that I have milled, right? They're stacked and stickered. I have to hand load all of those into the back of the truck or onto the trailer and then take them to where I'm going to use them. This way I can just pick up that whole freaking stack, right? And just move the whole stack. The subcompact's been a great little tractor, but it just does not have the lift capacity that I'm starting to discover that I really need. So the lift capacity is the main driver, and there's other things that I'll cover later when I tell you all what I've decided to go with. But right now I'm just prepping the subcompact to be traded in, and this is part of that. So I get this back to original configuration where it just hooks directly to the three points on the tractor, because I am keeping the quick hitch also. I really like having a quick hitch on the back of my tractor. It's really handy for switching. But stay tuned for what comes next. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if any of you have bought a tractor or you buy something like that. The anticipation is killing me. This tractor it's Saturday today, and I think Thursday it shipped to the dealer. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I will be letting you guys know what I decided on here in the future. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're interested to find out what I've gone with next, what could possibly replace the mighty subcompact tractor. It's been a great little tractor. I cannot deny it. It's impressed me in ways that I never thought it would. But it's time for it to go. Until next time, be safe, brothers and sisters.